Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Nightwing, New Order, issue number 1 of 6. Am I right? Am I wearing the right shirt for this? I'm thinking so. Anyway, let's check this out. This comic right here. This technically takes place in 2040, but you got some wordplay going dating back to 2028, and this 12-year difference is a big deal. Back in 2028, Dick Grayson had gone and used some kind of a device that took away 90% of the superpowers out there. Now, for the other, I don't know, I think it's like 9%, he was able to find, not himself, but with his resources, they were able to develop some kind of a drug, an injection, that will take away your powers, will subdue your powers for a certain amount of time. Now, why is it messing with your head, this, that, and the other thing? Whatever, man. But only 1% of the people out there actually have superpowers. Now, that includes the good guys, too. There's an amazing scene here with, of all people, him and Superman. And that's important if you really know the history of Nightwing. Check out Nightwing Explained in a Minute on Comic Book University, tuition free. And you'll have a good understanding why. But this was, wow. This, guys, was an amazing comic book. Now, the main bad guy here, if you really want to, go to that level, was Dr. Light. And Dr. Light is basically just this guy who the device didn't work on him, so he's supposed to take his injection. He went some time without taking his injection, so he's considered to be on the run. Now, Nightwing doesn't chase him down and kill him, so although Nightwing is definitely taking the law into his own hands in a very different form, and he's, mind you, he's not Nightwing at this point, he's just Dick Grayson, but he's using the resources of the law. He's seriously in charge of everything at this point to chase down Professor Light, Dr. Light, puts him down and forces him to accept the injection. And he's saying and the entire time, no, man, please, it's messing with my head. I'm not right when you do that stuff. Now, here's why this is perfect. Anybody who knows Dr. Light, especially back in the Identity Crisis, there's not a soul out there who's going to sympathize with Dr. Light. Not a single person. After his rape of Sue Dibney, no, we're done. We're done with this guy. So, listen, Kyle Higgins is the writer here, and man, this guy picked the perfect so-called villain for this one. I mean, villain in many different aspects of the terminology here. He's the bad guy, and it's finite, specifically with him. Now, if they were to turn around and start doing that with other characters, some heroes and some villains, but like, let's say you come across the Flash, because it looks like Barry Allen is running around. If Barry Allen gets caught and he's forced to take this drug and he's considered a fugitive from the law at this point, we're not going to have so much sympathy. So for issue 1, them using Dr. Light was absolutely perfect. You might be cheering for Nightwing at this point, but even Alfred isn't. And yeah, dude, this guy's immortal. I know he dies at the end by 2040, but in 2028 or so, and sometime afterwards, he's still alive. Now, something particularly messed up happens towards the end of this when someone that his son knows turns out to be a relative of Dr. Light. So this is looked at in a very different, quote unquote, excuse the pun, a different light. But then on top of that, something even worse happens. And I'm not going to spoil this for you. You might be able to guess it. But this is a pretty particularly interesting turn of events. And I wasn't necessarily expecting this. Guys, I looked at the cover of this, and all due respect to Trevor McCarthy, the cover artist, I didn't like this cover. I didn't. However, he's also the artist for the comic itself. There's a variant cover with other artists, but when he actually does the inside, very, very different. So I guess the front cover, he's just looking for a Big Brother 1984-esque kind of look. But the inside, this is some of the most beautiful art that I have ever seen. This is amazing, gorgeous art. Dick Grayson, he actually looks older. He's got the bigger face like some people get when they get older. And just, wow, this comic book wows me on so many levels. This is clearly an Elseworlds styled book. This is not our future, so to speak, but wow, man. Everything about this book is A+, and it's hard to argue counter to that point. Guys, I'm just going to let it be at that. Professor Bill, Comic Book University, class dismissed.